The Detroit Pistons are up next, though. Their most notable moves, they drafted Jaden Ivey at number 5. Corey Joseph picked up his $5.2 million player option. Hamidou Diallo picked up his $5.2 million player option. They signed Buddy Boeheim to a 2-way contract. They signed Marvin Bagley III to a 3-year, $37.5 million deal. It is fully guaranteed. And they traded Jeremy Grant and number 46 to Portland for number 36, which became Gabriel Procida. Milwaukee's 2025 first-round pick, top 4 protected, and a 2026 second, most favorable of Portland or New Orleans is. They then acquired Jalen Duren, the number 13 pick, from the Knicks for Kemba Walker and that Milwaukee 2025 first-round pick. They also acquired in a separate trade Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks, $6 million in cash, a 2023 second-round pick. It was Detroit's own, and a 2026 second-round pick for the draft rights to Nikola Radicevich, who was drafted in 2015, and a 2025 second rounder that's top 55 protected. So it was basically they got all that stuff to take those guys into their cap space. Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks, 2 second rounders, and $6 million in cash to lease out cap space to the Knicks. They also signed Kevin Knox to a 2-year, $6 million deal with a team option, on year 2. And they re-signed Rodney Magruder to a 1-year veteran minimums deal. Notable exits, they declined Luka Garza's team option, and they declined Carson Edwards' team option. What grade did you have for the Detroit Pistons, Grant?
So this is going to feel weird after the Cavs got a B+, which I think I'm going to call a B just for comparisons purposes. This is a B+.
I'm going to put it in the doc as a B now. I'm
tracking
our grades this year to see if we have to do mea culpas next offseason.
That's fair. That's fair. As long as we don't have to apologize for killing the Jared Allen signing again. The statute of limitations expired on that. This is a B+ for me. I might have had it in the A range, if not for which maybe you won't agree. I think you might. The Bagley signing is just like, I don't understand it on any level other than he's still kind of young. And is like physically, athletically talented. He just has not been a positive player. I don't know where the competition was that made the number get as high as it did for him. And the positional glut, like you've got other more important / better players that need to be at the 4 and the 5. And so I don't understand why we're investing here. I guess you could criticize them for not going the cap space route. They had a way to do that. I don't feel like that is legitimate. So yeah, like they won, their draft was great. I think Ivy, part of it's luck. I don't think Ivy could have easily come off the board sooner. I love his fit with Cade. I think Duren is a who knows project, but they really wanted him, and it was one of those picks where everybody was like, oh, I can't believe they pulled that off. So I feel good about that. And then just being willing to take on bad money, I think. And even the money's not even that bad that they got. So I getting a first for Grant, there's just all these little wins, I think, that add up to me. But it's just the Bagley thing that gives me pause and keeps me from going much higher for them.
So you ended up, would you say a B for them?
B+.
I struggled what to do when looking at their transactions with the Knicks. Like, do you look at them separately? Do you view it in totality? Because they end up acquiring Jalen Duren and Kemba Walker and Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks, $6 million in cash, and 2 second rounders for that's what was the cost of their cap space plus that Milwaukee first round pick, unless I'm forgetting anything there. So is that a sensible are they so sure Jalen Duren is that guy? And it doesn't even sound like he's going to be part of their starting lineup, which I guess you can argue makes sense. I'm ultimately, I think, fine because I don't think they needed to go the cap space route. And yeah. I also don't view Alec Burks as if you view Nerlens Noel as a sunk cost at this point, that's fine. Kemba Walker clearly was. But if you view Alec Burks can play and gives them shooting that they could definitely need. The stuff that I didn't, and I think the Ivy pick was just at that spot. He fell to you. Fell at number 5, but that's a no brainer. And like I said, I'm tantalized by the Ivy, Cunningham, Duren trio. Why did you not more aggressively target shooting on this team? And I'm inclined to feel a little bit better about that because Isaiah Livers healthy looks like he's really going to sling it. And I actually just made the case. I think they should start him. They should start Bay, Livers, and either Stewart or Duren with Ivy and Cunningham. But the Marvin Bagley contract, he played really well for them. He had some nice connections with Cade. Showed some nice touch around the basket, some even nice fades a little bit. But like, where does he fit in the context of this? I don't ever want to see him playing the four. And it only makes sense if
he can't play the four. He
and
just can't do it.
the only front court partner that it really makes sense to play him with right now is Kelly Olynyk, because Olynyk can shoot, and that would be a defensive disaster.
Yep.
And I also just think when you look at the totality of this team, is there enough shooting? You have Burks, you have Livers. Let's consider Sadiq Bey a good shooter. I think Cade Cunningham will be better, but I want to see Cade Cunningham surrounded by more shooting. And I don't think that they did that enough. So I ultimately went with a B-, because I don't think I was blown away by the transactions. I think what they did with the Knicks was absolutely fine. Mm-hmm. But I just like the Bagley deal rubs me the wrong way, like I said. And I still think there's this weird ambiguity when you're looking at it's more so the 4 spot, because I guess you're going to play like 2 bigs or 2 undersized, but because Isaiah Stewart is like kind of small, and I really love Beef Stew, but I don't necessarily love the logjam that they've created there. And even you can filter out Nerlens Noel if you don't think he should play, but there's also a chance that Nerlens Noel is more impactful than Marvin Bagley at this point. And fully guaranteed, I understand having mid-end contracts with the cap going up can be valuable for trade talks, but fully guaranteed at nearly $38 million for over 3 years, I didn't understand that. They've clearly been a team that's going to think outside of, or not outside the box, but they're going to think to the beat of their own drum or whatever under Troy Weaver. So we have to see how it works out. But I didn't love anything that they did. I don't know that you can hate or love the Jaden Ivey pick, because it was almost sort of made for, like, I guess if they picked Benedict Mathurin, you wouldn't have been mad, but you really have to feel strongly that Shaedon Sharpe or Benedict Mathurin is better than Jaden Ivey. I don't feel strong enough on either of those fronts. It just felt like the no-brainer pick. So how much credit do you give them for that? That's why I ended up at a B-.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I think for me, just, Ivy has like major downside risk, which actually in the top 10, especially if you're a team like the Pistons, I'm good with. I think you're just trying to hit bombs like that. That should be the approach. So yeah, my grade rests a lot on a guy that they, like you said, lucked into, that has a huge like volatility factor in his future. And I just think Ivy, I think it's still a guards league. I think it's cool that we saw a bunch of forwards and stuff go off the board early. That's fine. But like, if you're going to tell me that there's a guy with a shot, like just a shot to be a super athletic lead guard that actually makes sense next to the big wing that you already have that handles the ball, like, I don't know. I like the theoretical approach a lot there.
I also do feel like this is a grade that could be bumped up. Like, I look at these moves and I'm like, I can't see myself a year from now if this is just how it plays out and they let Nerlens Noel and Burke come off the books, and because they also, and this is what I'm getting at, they haven't even bought out Kemba officially yet. I know that was reported. So are there other moves to follow for them this offseason? So it's a grade that I could see immediately changing because of something else they do. I don't look at this roster and think, well, I'm going to be incredibly wrong about the actual moves that they've made. I think, look, Burks, Ivy, great pickups. I'm the Bagley contract, and I think some of the weird decisions it creates and then the issues that go unaddressed as sort of a byproduct of it, that's the stuff that I can't get past for them.
Yeah.